Hey everybody, Tony at Richway Industries. Hey, we're back here with our second video on our brand new MP-500 mixing pumping machine. So in our first video, I mentioned a few of the dimensions and specs, and then in the second video, we were going to get into taking a closer look at the controls and maybe some operations on the machine. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so we'll go ahead and just jump right on in. With the controls on this machine, up here we've got the engine control, which is going to be a pretty standard type of control that you'd find on a piece of equipment like this. This is the main control on the machine. So because we've automated all of this machine and the whole process, when you're setting the machine up for the whole batching process and sequence, this is where you're going to do it. Now it's a little difficult to see with the camera that we're using today, but we're going to go in and we're going to set our water batch amount. We can set our pump speed. We can set our mixer speed, and we've got some other things that we've introduced on this control that give you a little more efficiency and productivity, one of them being a cycle batch counter, a timer as well. And one of the other cool things that we do is this control is something we program ourselves. So any updates that we come up with, we have control over those, and we're also able to get them to you. So that gives us some nice functionality. Now, off to the side here, we've got some toggle switches. So some of these set points, say for the pump speed or the water batch amount, you're just going to use the toggle switches off to the side. Some of the other things will be accessed through these soft button keys to the left of the control. Now the last thing within this main control that we have is what we call our OS mode controls. So should you have any issues with the digital controls, all of the functions on this machine can be run manually just using these hydraulic levers here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of the functions on this machine operating. We'll go ahead and get the engine started. First thing we'll take a look at is I'm going to turn the mixer on, and then we'll run a water batch cycle. On this machine, it is a hydraulic drive water pump, and of course we use a flow meter to automate that whole thing. One of the things you'll notice on this, anytime we start a function on this machine, and this is true of our MP-250 rather as well, we've got an automated throttle system. So the engine will automatically throttle up anytime we start a function, and then when that function stops, it will throttle back down. So it does save you some noise and of course saves you some fuel. But go ahead and step on up here and we'll take a look at the mixer and water batching. So if I hit the mixer on button, of course we got the mixer starting to turn now, the engine throttles up, and we'll hit this water cycle button. You can see that water coming in. Then of course you hear that engine throttle down too once we turn that cycle off, or that function off rather. We'll go ahead and step over and take a look at the auto dump cycle now. All right, so with the fender control on this machine, we actually can operate the pump, the e-stop, and the batch cycle button. So the thing that really sets our machines apart, because this is something you find on this machine and our MP-250, is you can operate the batching process from this control. So each time you hit this button, it's going to automatically go through the dumping cycle, the water batch cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that button now, and we'll just let that machine go through that cycle one time. All right, so that takes care of the second video on this machine. Be sure to be checking in with us for the third video that we're going to be coming out with in the next couple weeks. We're planning on having this machine on site, so that video should be real exciting. We're actually going to get to see it running, mixing and pumping material. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.